Today, we take a look at what is going on in the stock market because the elections in the USA are currently underway and it will be very interesting to see how the whole thing ends. Sentiment, let's take a look at the overall market with the Dow Jones, where we recorded a gain of around 0.87% today, which is already a somewhat positive development, more positive mood than in the last few days. But overall, it can be said that the mood is still characterized by uncertainties, and therefore one should definitely wait for the election results. And there has been a lot of uncertainty in the last few days. Again, there is uncertainty as to when these election results will be definitively available. One could assume that they will be on the table in black and white tomorrow morning, but many are rather pessimistic and assume that the results will be available by then. From the fact that you have to wait a little longer and the Nasdaq has risen a little today, which is a very nice sign after the very tense mood in the last few days, in quotation marks. But in any case, you can see in the chart, in the concrete investor behavior, the quite large uncertainty and what were today. Special stocks were, for example, bank shares or Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin and see an increase of around 2.3% in trading volume. Bitstamp is also slightly higher here, and private prison companies have also benefited, for example, Geo Group, where we also take a look and see a plus of 4.77% with a slightly above average trading volume. Looks a bit like speculation that Trump will win the race is another prison stock. Core Civic, I want to write that correctly here too. So Core Civic, what is the whole situation there too, with an increase of 4%? High volatility is characterized by a very massive fluctuation, or is also characterized by a very large fluctuation range. So I would be cautious about investing in these stocks, but nonetheless, I noticed that the volatility is very high. We can see from today's share price developments that there may be a certain tendency to believe that Trump will win the whole thing, and the whole thing is not definitively settled. There have been predictions in the last few days that favor Trump, but it will be a very close neck-and-neck race. That is definitely the consensus and in principle, and here we can go again. Looking back a bit, it is the case that stock markets fall in the short term after the US presidential election, especially when the result is unclear, simply as a sign or reflection of the uncertainty that then arises. You need certainty on the stock market, and without this certainty, you can definitely expect volatility, which can offer opportunities. For example, if you want to trade in the short term, or if you long-term investor wants to secure somewhat more favorable entry prices, but you have to do the whole thing with a little